Hey everybody, this is Getty with Georgia Firing Line, and today I wanted to take a look at a quick exercise to answer a question that we get very frequently. How do I get started in shooting? So one of the most common exercises that you're going to see is called the extend, prep, and press. Very simple in nature, but it's very nuanced and there's a lot that we can learn from it. So today we have a target set at 5 yards. You'll be able to see it. The target cam should be over here to hold me accountable. And what the extend, prep, and press is going to work on is your acceleration, getting the gun out. You really get to test your vision, which is what you get to see on target in relation to your sights. This can be performed with red dot, with an iron sight. You can do this with a carbine, or you can do this, of course, with your handgun, which is what we're doing today. This can also be performed with or without your shot timer. So if you have a shot timer, of course, you can gather some information and we can learn from this. But if you don't have a shot timer, then this simply becomes a visual or kinesthetic exercise. And I want to be perfectly clear. We're not just getting the gun out there and ripping on the trigger. We're using our vision. I'm only shooting if my sight package tells me I'm clear to shoot. So if your practice session is going to be focused on accuracy mode, then maybe I give myself a refined target. We'll look at that. Then maybe I want to focus on speed mode. Then I can give myself a generous target. We'll have a chance to check that out as well. And you really need the shot timer to put yourself into performance mode or match mode, because this is going to create the metric that I have to stay within. So first, let's take a look at it dry. So I'm going to take the gun, make sure it's unloaded and clear. We have a clear gun. I'm going to put the magazine in my back pocket. So let's look at this dry, which is of course one way that you can do this at home. So I've got my grips on the gun, my arms and shoulders are relaxed, I'm standing in good posture, my eyes are focused where I want my gun, my dot, or my sight package to appear, and I'm going to go ahead and get the gun moving. So while the gun's extending, my finger's prepping on the trigger, my dot or sight package drops into my intended target line, I prep and press on the trigger. So based on what I saw, that would have been right smack dead in the middle of the alpha, which is where I wanted it to be. So let's pick up the speed just a little bit, and let's get the gun moving and see what I can see. Gun starts moving, finger preps and presses on the trigger. My dot dropped in from 12, and that was right about where it should have been. So the other thing to remember here is based on the confines of my target, that's going to define for me what's good enough. So again, if you want this to be an accuracy drill, then maybe the 2-inch or 4-inch circles on here are plenty for you. If you need this to be a speed mode exercise, well, I can give myself a generous target like the Alpha or the Charlie. Then if I put myself into match mode, I'm going to give myself a time standard and say that I need to hit the alphas as well. So now we get to do the fun part. We're going to load and make ready and actually see what this looks like. Those are hollow points. I'm not doing that. Okay, so now for the fun part. Now we get to load and make ready and shoot this thing for real. Okay, so first thing is going to be accuracy mode. The clear goals for shooting within accuracy mode say that I need to hit my target as intended. There's no time limit. I just have to be accurate. So I'm going to use the 2-inch circle on the left-hand side, the one labeled number 1. So I need to put my dot in the top edge of that dot to manage my holdover as well, because I'm shooting a red dot. So my eyes are focused on target. I'm standing in good posture. I'm going to extend the gun, prep the trigger in motion, prep and press, gun fires, and then I'm going to relax. So that's one shot. Let's do it again. I'm going to extend the gun, my dot lands where I need it to be, I'm prepped on the trigger, I press. One more time. Extend, prep, press. Finger off trigger, and I relax. So that's accuracy mode. So did I accomplish my clear goal? Yes, there are 3 hits in that circle. I feel happy with that, so I'm going to move on. All right, so next we get to talk about my personal favorite. This is speed mode. So for speed mode, I'm relieving myself of the shackles of accuracy, and I'm saying that my hits need to be anywhere on that Alpha or the Charlie silhouette. So my priority on this is getting the gun moving, and I need to see something. For me, that's going to be a flash of color through my window to let me know that my dot or my streak is somewhere in that target, which tells me that that's an acceptable thing to shoot at. So here's a bit of a tip. We need to be working on our timing as well. Just because the streak is in there doesn't mean that my finger is already prepped on the trigger. So you need to be prepping the trigger in motion. If I'm too early, we're going to see shots high, missing the target. If I'm too late, we're going to see targets low, missing the target, because momentum says this gun's going to keep moving. So I want to be totally clear. I'm not getting the gun out and then settling and then pressing on the trigger, because that puts me back into accuracy mode. I'm shooting the gun in motion. So it's going to look something like this. My eyes are focused on target. I'm in good posture. I'm ready to go. So on that one, my dot dropped from 12. My streak broke the outside edge. I was already prepped on the trigger, so I pressed the trigger because my sights were on target. Let's go one more time. Stand by. Okay, so that's an example of being a little bit late. I let the dot streak through my intended point of aim, and there's not that much of a time difference, but just because the dot struck all the way through and then I pressed on the trigger, we see how low it is. So let's get one more and make it nice and clean. All right. So my question for you in the comments, was that last shot early or was the last shot late? So now let's talk about measuring inside of speed mode. I have my shot timer set to a random delay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to press the button, we're going to hear a beep, and I'm going to extend, prep, and press in speed mode. So anywhere on that Alpha Charlie is going to be considered a hit. There's no bonus points for hitting alphas right now. I'm just in speed mode. Stand by. I say that, but I went ahead and chucked one right in the alpha. And that was a .47. 0.47. Okay, let's see if we can beat that. Stand by. Okay, I saw just a tiny bit of streak in there. That little flash of red's what told me to go. That was in a .39. 0.39. One more, let's see if we can beat that. Stand by. Okay, we're just on the outside edge. We're back to that Aerosmith quote again, living on the edge. And that was in a .46. So I want one more. I want to see if I can beat that. Stand by.
Reload.
That's more like it. That was in a .37. That was in a .37. Very good. So I'm happy with that. So the question is, did I meet my clear goals? Yes, I have hits on paper, and I feel like I did that relatively quickly. So now we're going to talk about match mode, where we have to hold ourselves accountable. So here are my clear goals for shooting this exercise right now. I'm going to say that I have to hit the alpha, which is the interior rectangle, and I'm going to do so in a timely fashion. So we know from speed mode that I was reliably getting 46 to 37, somewhere in that range. I shouldn't expect my speed mode performance to show up in performance mode, because now I have to be a little more accurate. So there's going to be a little confirmation happening, just to be clear. And this is one of my favorite benefits of shooting this exercise in performance mode or match mode, because this is going to prepare me for my full draw stroke. Once I've gripped the gun and my hands are joined, well, look at this. It's an extend, prep, and press. That's the value of this drill. So because I'm entering into performance mode or match mode, I'm taking my time right now. My eyes are set on the target, and I'm getting a deep breath, and right now I'm visualizing what I'm about to see. I'm ready. Stand by. Okay, we're in .50. 0.50. Let's do it again, see if I can beat it. That was very careful. I feel like I can go faster. So question for the comment section. Was that too soon or too late?
Now, was I rushing or was I dragging?
I can tell you that was way too soon. That was in a 5.2, so it was too early, and I was late to the beat. So we're going to do that again. Stand by. All right. That was in a .47, but it's a Charlie. So for the purpose of performance mode, that's a redo. I gotta do it again. That's more like it. It's in a 5.2. It's in a 5.2. So we're seeing that when we dip into performance mode or match mode, you are sacrificing just a little bit of your time for confirmation. There we go. That one felt really good. So that one was in a .46. I saw exactly what I needed to see, and I feel like I wasn't wasting a lot of time over confirming. It's inside the alpha, and that's good enough for this exercise. So to boil this down into something that's going to be useful for you, you can set your own distance, you can set your own target, you can set your own metrics. But the extend, prep, and press is simply to get your vision used to seeing the gun moving and tracking your sights in real time while prepping and pressing on the trigger in motion. Those are the three things you really need to focus on when you're shooting the extend, prep, and press. If you guys have any questions about our training program, if you'd like to get involved with us and come shoot with us and get better, we would love that. I think you would enjoy it as well. Reach out to us on the link tree in the description if you have any questions about getting involved in our training program. My name is Getty. Be safe.